And me. So with mindfulness, one of the things I do is if I'm picking up a pen, I'll say, I'm picking up a pen. I'm putting the pen down. I'm opening up the computer. I'm washing this dish. And I continue to just speak what I'm doing. And it's a way to just really it gets you really present in what you're doing. So the key to mindfulness, we're waiting for our beautiful Tiffany. This is the only one that I apologize for it clicking off. We'll have 2 videos. Is to be fully present in what you're doing. And so often there's this dialogue going on and our minds are in this engagement of thoughts, and maybe we're making a grocery list for the next day, or it may be that we're worried about something at work or a bill we need to pay, or are upset with something someone did to us, and our minds are we're in our thoughts. So would you go through, Diana, do you want to text Tiffany? Oh, there she is. There we go. Yay. We're all back on. Yay. Thank you. Sorry about that. I'm not sure. Zoom just disconnected us. I'll try to figure that out for next time. So as your mind is in thinking mode, it's in thinking. So you're in the thought. You're in thought. And you're not really actually present to the sounds of the birds chirping, the smell that might come by of the flowers, the breeze that might come by on your face, whatever might be present in your circumstance. You're really not present to that because you're distracted by all these thoughts that are happening. You're in the thinking mode. So what we're going to try to get distinguished as we go through the course is the activity of thinking, and that's not bad. Thinking isn't bad. We have to think at times. You know, you're driving down the road, you have to think. You have to, you're balancing your books, or you're doing your accounting, or your work. We need to be in that thinking mode at times. But when we're practicing mindfulness, and hopefully when you're at work, you want to practice mindfulness, and driving, you want to be mindful. But there are times where you really do need to be in the analytical state, and that's not a bad thing. It's when we want to be going through our life and going through times when we don't have to be super analytical and balancing the books and stuff. We want to be able to be very present. So we want to start to distinguish and just notice through observation, self-observation, without any judgment, with pure love. Notice when you're in that, lost in the thought. And then when notice you're lost in thinking, just bring yourself back to present moment, mindfulness. And the couple different ways that I use is, first of all, I use breath. Sometimes I'll breathe into that belly and just take a deep breath and just be here now. Or I'll start repeating, I'm washing this dish. I'm picking up this pen. I'm writing. I'm in the warrior pose, whatever it is, and start to bring yourself from thinking to being present. So you're in the state of being, you're aware. So going from thinking to awareness, pure, conscious, present moment awareness. And it's, you're just hearing the birds. You just know. And so the second one is, so the breath is always there. That is always, the other thing is, speaking what you're doing. I'm taking a step. Taking another step. Sometimes when I'm in my walk, I'm taking a step, especially if my mind's very active. And the other way I get present is to really engage my senses. So if I'm sitting here, I'll just, what are the sounds? And I'll start listening to my chimes. If there's wind, I'll hear the chimes, or I'll hear the birds singing. in the background, or the traffic, or whatever the sounds are. What are the sensations that are around you? The breeze on the skin, the smell. So using all the sensations, the eyes, the ears, the taste, the smell, the sense of feeling, and get into that sense, the 5 senses. And that's a way that you can move yourself from the thought disturbances and thinking mode into conscious awareness and just being aware, being conscious. And the more we can make our natural way of being is being, and not be distracted in the thoughts, and being here now, present to what's going on here now, the more we're actually practicing yoga. When we go in and we start talking about the yoga, and we start getting into the Patanjali, and he talks about yoga is basically calming the disturbances of the mind. Mm-hmm. That is yoga. That Patanjali is the grandfather of yoga. So if we can calm the disturbances of the mind, and we can bask in that present moment awareness more and more, little by little steps at a time, we're practicing yoga. So any comments, questions, wisdom to share about mindfulness? You'll be watching a video on the class this week, but I'd love for any of you to share some of your mindfulness experiences, or any questions if you have them.
I love that you have said when you're practicing mindfulness, you either breathe into your belly or you say an affirmation of I am, because subconsciously your mind believes what you say after I am and attracts that into your experience. So I really love that. And I think it comes naturally for me ever since I've spiritually awakened to breathe into the present moment when my mind is drifting off. So that really resonated with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing, Tessa. Beautiful. Yes. Beautiful. And a lot of you have all this, and even me, I've been practicing this, but it's about practicing it and deepening it, continuing to deepen it. Mm-hmm. And reminding ourselves. It's like we all know how to do a lot of things, but do we practice them?
Yeah, I really like this idea. My therapist will even do sensory awareness meditations with me. And she's taught me a lot on not only that, but like savoring a moment when I'm like, like when I'm enjoying something or when I'm doing something that's fulfilling, like sitting in it and like really appreciating that moment. So my body and my mind knows, what it feels to enjoy things, because I've done a lot of things to my body and mind that I felt like I came to a point where like I wasn't able to enjoy things so much anymore. But once I started working on myself more and doing more meditations and working through certain emotions, I can now savor moments, and I can be in moments longer and appreciate them for simply just being a moment, and I love the idea of mindfulness in general, because it's taught me a lot in just staying present and wanting to be present.
Thank you so much, Evelyn.
Thank you.
This is what I love about the Zoom and the class sharing. We can't be, in person for 25 days right now, but beautiful. I love that. Savoring that moment. I hope it's okay that I use that one too.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. The wisdom. This is what I love, is to share the wisdom, makes it so much richer.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyone else?
Well, I also feel like when I'm in high emotion, it's like important for me just to express it and not feel judging of myself, to bottle it up, just express myself, but also be aware of how my actions affect others. And so then I just have to go for a walk or go into nature, and then I can center myself again. But, just realizing when I get too high, but also not trying to bottle it up inside is super important, to just be aware of what I'm feeling and accept it, and also befriend it, but then also try to find ways to release it in a healthy way.
Thank you, Tiffany. Again, so beautiful. I love that. And finding, if you're like finding ways to express that, feel everything fully, bring it on, bring the emotions, don't stuff them back in, bring them on, but finding healthy ways, and maybe even someone that you can share it with, that you can just kind of vent out and say, this isn't personal, but I just need to vent right now. I got to get it out and I've got to feel it, so that they're not feeling, so you don't end up venting it out on somebody and, just poisoning them with all your stuff, where you can find. And then the fact that, you've said, I go into nature and I'll go in and walk and meditate, finding ways after you've venting where you can bring that balance back for yourself and restore your energy. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful suggestions. I love it. Thank you, Tiffany. I love the wisdom in this class. Anybody else?
Well, a lot of times I'll do your yoga classes, and then I love to journal. And then I also love to just do my gratitude list. That always helps me to get really grounded. So thank you so much, Bonnie. Grace.
Yeah, thank you, Cindy. Journaling that's one way, like Tiffany says, you just vent. If there's nobody safe to vent that won't, take it as poison, then journal it down on paper, and write out everything, just let the rage monster out and just let it vent out onto paper. So that's a great way to do it. And yoga, like that would be a way. If you can't get it out in nature, do some yoga, do something with your body, because moving your body is a good way to process the emotions. Walking, yoga, or whatever, so that you can actually process it through your body. Very good suggestion. Thank you, Cindy.
For me, movement and sound. So breathing and letting out a big sigh or a tone, or singing a song, putting on some good music, dancing, and using my voice and body to release and then you can get quiet after that and feel better.
So beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Diana. And Diana is our singer, and using the voice and to sing can be a beautiful way to get present, to get mindful, listening to music, singing music. I love that. And a lot of times when I do meditation, and you'll see in our rapture meditations, is I use music as the anchor, listening from the heart and being really present to the music, just really listening to the music and using that as that anchor. Because in mindfulness practices we're going to do in the meditations, we're going to be having a single point of focus. And this is training your mind to become more and more still. And it's the most powerful way to practice and train that mindfulness. And it's a practice. You have to do it over and over. And using sound and music, and like you say, even a chant or an om, is a powerful way to practice mindfulness. Thank you, Diana. So I think, Philip, do you have any ways you practice mindfulness that you want to share?
Sure. I used to do extreme sports to get fully in the present moment, like rock climbing and jumping out of airplanes. Then I discovered, for my own personal health, I should probably find better ways to do that. And so, yeah, a lot of what yoga does is support that present moment experience. And it's a practice. It's like yoga itself. I think it is yoga, part of yoga. And, just doing daily meditation and doing the breath work as much as I can, and soaking the hot springs right down the street. All of those contribute to allow me to support that. being in the present moment.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Phil. We were not going to be jumping out of any airplanes in this course.
No, no.
Maybe we'll have
Those days are over.
an activity after or something. But we might all go to the hot springs. That would be fun.
Yeah, come on up.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. So I want to conclude. It's 7:30 now. We only have a few more minutes. So I want to just review Samadhi real quickly because we'll be starting our Samadhi practices. And like I had said, with ecstatic yoga, it's got a pretty wide spectrum. And we go from deep Samadhi into meditation and mindfulness, and then some asana and some movement and ecstatic movement, and then rapture. So that's a pretty big spectrum, and they all work together and they're all valuable. And I think it's, I've called ecstatic yoga sacred embodiment, but I've also called it whole harmonious yoga on the website. I've called it that in the beginning, that was its name. And that's because we're using pranayama, we're using meditation, mindfulness, we're using different samadhi and rapture. And samadhi is the last ultimate goal of the Eightfold Path that Patanjali, our father of yoga, and it leads us to samadhi. So when I guide you through samadhi practices, I'll be going through the last, it's 8, but I'll be going through the from asana to pranayama to pratyahara. We'll be going into moving all the way up. I don't want to get into everything to confuse people, but right up into samadhi, which is bliss, and which is pure expanded consciousness. And as you go through it, and there'll be sometimes I'll have samadhi in some of the yoga practices where we'll just go into little mini samadhis. And it's a time when you just really bring your consciousness still. You bring your body still. Your body's not moving at all. Your consciousness is still. You're not in thought disturbances. You're fully conscious, aware, fully present. And as you rest in that meditative state of single pointed awareness, which leads you into this deep meditation, samadhi is grace. It's a state of grace. So you prepare yourself as best as you can by getting your mind and your body as still as possible in a deep state of meditation, so that samadhi just kind of takes you. And you'll notice as you go through your meditation and I guide you, there'll be moments, and we'll all go through them. You'll all enter it. You'll just notice the shift where you're just more aware. You're more alert. It goes from a deep meditation to like, you've expanded into a more pure conscious awareness. And then you just allow yourself to bask in that. And they say there's very deep healing on the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious levels when we rest in this deep state of samadhi. And so it's something that, being that it's the goal of yoga, and Patanjali, it's his ultimate goal, it's the eight path of the 8 limbs. I think it's really important for us to incorporate some of that in the teacher training. So I'll be sending you some samadhi practices, and we'll be doing them a little bit once a week in our morning pranayama and our morning practices. Our practices, we'll be doing them once a week. So you'll be getting a lot of samadhi, and you'll become more and more comfortable with it and more familiar with it. And for me, samadhi just started happening spontaneous for me. It started happening spontaneously as a child. I didn't know what it was. I used to call it my freezes. And then I started going to yoga classes, and in the savasana, my mind just, and I would be there frozen for an hour after class. I'd hear the next class come in and everyone think I was sleeping. I'd hear every word they were all saying about me or about anything. But I just allowed myself to have that. And then I began to practice it consciously. And so when I practice it, I don't always go into a deep samadhi, because sometimes it just does, that grace just doesn't take me. But maybe I just haven't gone into a deep enough meditation, or maybe, I don't know why. Every time when I go down to practice it, I don't always go into it in a deep, deep way. But I have found I can go into it very quickly and pretty consciously now, even during a yoga meditation. A real long, extended, deep one, it doesn't always happen when I sit down to do a samadhi. But I will go into a deep meditation. I'll turn this phone off now that we're all on the call. Sorry about that. So, questions and comments and wisdom to share about samadhi.
I know I've done it with you, I think.
Oh, you have lots of times.
I just don't always know the names. I just know that sometimes I feel like, well, I get in that deep state where I try to wake myself up. You know how you almost like, I don't know if I almost leave my body, but sometimes I feel like I'm gonna go, and then I just sort of bounce back in. So I try to like not do that, because sometimes I get overly relaxed. And that's why a lot of times I have to have you like really help me ground, because yeah, I don't know, that's happened to me a few times where I'm like, boop. I go really deep.
So in samadhi, we're going to be going through that one point of focus, and we are going to be quiescing our mind so it's extremely quiet. And that is similar to what you practice when you want to do out-of-body experiences. But we're not going to be creating the affirmations. We're not going to be creating the intention to leave our bodies and step out of our body. That takes a lot of intention and a lot of work. And I would love to master that and teach that as well. But with samadhi, you're actually going to be very grounded inside your body.
Perfect.
You're going to be very grounded inside your body. You're going to be fully present. You're just going to be in awareness. So with me, when I'm in my samadhis, I don't actually like even notice that I have a body. I'm in my body, I'm grounded, my body's there, but my conscious awareness is so expanded that I'm just pure consciousness. I'm just pure consciousness. I totally forget about my body. It's so still, it's frozen, and I'm just pure consciousness, pure conscious awareness. That's it.
Sort of like when we do the group meditations, because that's what happens with me. I sort of kind of I sort of know what's around me, but I'm also like traveling a little bit too. I could do both. I could sort of feel the seat underneath me, but yet not letting the thoughts or the body or anything really bother me. Yeah.
You have elevated from body awareness, your anamaya kosha to the pranamaya kosha, the manamaya kosha. You've moved out through your kosha, and now you're in the anandamaya kosha. You're literally expanding your consciousness into this anandamaya kosha, the bliss body. So you're actually in your bliss body. And for me, I don't really have a body awareness when I'm in my consciousness. I don't even think about it, but I'm fully present. I'm so present. You can you can hear whispering across the whole room. Like your hearing seems to get better. I don't know. I'm like, wow. But you're conscious of all the sounds around you. You're not like unconscious at all. You're super conscious. But you're in, it's not like it's different, it's different than rapture, because in rapture, you're feeling these waves of rapture and this joy and this ecstasy kind of going through you. And the music for me instigates that, because you're just feeling the music, you're listening to music with your heart, you're in this state of rapture, and your body you might feel the kundalini coming up, and you might feel your sushumna nadi moving, and it just moves you. You're not moving it. Samadhi, you're just still. And you're in super consciousness. So you are in your bliss body, but for me, it's not like I'm in that rapturous bliss state. I am just pure conscious awareness. It's, you know, it's very, there is definitely a sense, deep, profound sense of peace, because you're not in your thinking at all. You're way past the thinking zone. You might hear noises and thoughts might come through, but they flow through. They flow. Nothing gets stuck. You don't grab onto anything. Your mind just lets, so thoughts could flow, but you're just pure consciousness. It's you all will be experiencing it. You don't worry. Does that help? And did we lose Cindy again? Any other questions or comments about, or wisdom to share about Samadhi? So I just wanted to kind of give you a little overview before you start the Samadhi lessons. So you have an awareness of it and a little bit of information. So when you do the Samadhi, you'll be practicing a lot of them. I think we've got 6 Samadhis and I'll be doing once a week. So you get to be, you're very good with it. But it's just about time to end. So why don't we end with any ending comments or questions? Any wisdom you want to share with the group? I'm getting dark in here. I should probably turn my lights on. Huh? Hold on, turn my lights on.
We're just excited to do this journey with you. Thank you so much, Grace.
Sorry, just turning the light on so you could see me. I'm so excited to do this journey with all of you together, where I'll be learning as much as you'll be learning. I'll be growing, and we're going to all be growing and learning together. We wouldn't all be together unless we're a similar vibrational match. And so we're just here together to help each other. Oh, I see Trinket. Yay. Oh, Trinket was lost, so now she's found.
Yeah, she's lost, now she's found. Ow! It was.
So cute.
Any other comments or wisdom to share? Experiences?
Just thank you, Grace, for offering this again, and for giving your wisdom to those of us who are seekers of truth and desiring to expand our own consciousness and allow our own selves to practice a form of self-love, which to me is yoga.
Thank you
Awesome.
very much.
Yep, thank you so much. I really appreciate being here. I'm so happy and grateful to be here.
Thank you, Diana.
Thank you
Yes.
so much, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. You're all so beautiful, and I'm so blessed to know all of you and be a part of this. So thank you.
Thank you, Tessa. Yes. Well, very grateful for all of you, bright beings of light. And we're on this journey together. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, thank you so much, Grace.
Thank you, Evelyn and Taylor. So glad that you're here. And Tiffany.
You.
You beautiful souls. I'm so grateful for the beings of light that have come to this teacher training. It always attracts such amazing beings. And all of you are those bright lights. And you're the evolved species now, because this is a nice younger group. I love that. And so know that you're going to be carrying the torch, and you'll be teaching me a lot. I appreciate that. So
So
we'll just,
exciting.
yeah, so unless there's any other questions, we just conclude for the night. Thank you all for being present. My gosh, thank you so much. And just know, I hope everybody got the portal, got into the portal, was able to
Yeah.
get on YouTube, and okay.
Such an amazing. I love the Yanasana. I love the restorative yoga. It's like one of my favorites. I mean, there's so many favorites, but that one I think really, because I am so hyperactive, really calms me down. Like you were right. I'm like, I just should have did that before I even talked to you today.
Oh, no, you were perfect.
So
If anybody has a question, like Cindy had a question, it was a little confusion. I said, Monday this, Tuesday that, Wednesday this, and that was just to let you know ahead of time what we'll be doing, but there will be live. And did it help today sending the links of the morning asana?
Yeah.
it did.
Yes,
Okay, so do you want me to just do that every day?
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, I can do that. I can do that. I didn't want to inundate people with emails, but that helps you. And if you've already done it, you can ignore the email, but I'll just send you the link after I do it. So you can just open the email and click on the link and do the morning practice.
Thank you so much,
Awesome.
Grace. You're so sweet. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you all. I love and appreciate you all, and have a beautiful evening. And we will see you again tomorrow morning or sometime tomorrow.
thank you, Grace, for taking your time with all of us. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Love you all.
Love you.
Good night. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.